And we're on the live, and we got it on Facebook, and we got it on YouTube. Tonight's guests, so got a couple of people. You guys know Mr. Blue Moon Johnny, and I got a new guest over here tonight out of Salina, Texas. He's also an investigator. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Irene.
All right,
Tell
my
the
name's
people your real
Andrew.
name, Andrew.
My name's Andrew, and out of Texas. I've been investigating for about 15 years now. So
Right
I
on, right on.
started I started out doing it purely as a way to strengthen my own abilities. Wasn't using any tech or anything like that. Was just going in with senses alone and basically a flashlight. Um, and It was me and a buddy, and we did it for about 10 years, and then this year got into the whole TikTok scene and
Right.
started actually bringing in the tech and actually showing that these places that we were going to were actually places that needed to be investigated.
So, what is your background? What got you into the paranormal?
Um, well, I've always been able to sense like the emotions of others, and I've always felt things, around me. Like even when I was a little kid, if I went into an area that had something in it, I didn't really understand what it was, but it was almost like I was passing through a dimension when I would interact with that energy. It hit me like a wave when I would
Right.
walk into certain places. And I
Okay.
didn't really understand very much what was going on until, I got older and I started being able to do stuff like lucid dreaming and astral projecting and stuff like that because I figured those things out at a pretty young age when I was about 14, 15. Was the
See,
first time that I astral projected. So that's when I started figuring out, okay, this is the reason why I've felt this way for a long time. And,
right.
seeing things that when I tried to describe it to other people were like, oh, you've just got an overactive imagination, or you're just seeing things, or, XYZ explanation for the stuff that I was experiencing.
Right. When we were talking the other day, I've known Pyre now what for about a month or so. We met off of
Hmm.
TikTok, or Brandon, excuse me. Um, did I say that name right? My apologies,
Andrew.
Andrew. I was thinking of somebody else. I'm so used to
It's
calling you by
okay.
your screen name. It's my
You can
fault.
call me by my screen name, or
Um,
you can call me by my real name. I don't
we
care.
were we were talking about that astral projection, and
Hmm.
I wanted to get into that conversation with you. Right? How do you teach yourself to do that? How can you learn to do that
the
at home?
way the way that you're supposed to do it is not the way that I learned how to do it. And the way that I learned how to do it was because I was doing it by accident. Um, just not even trying to really.
Right.
Um, some people just have the ability, they just drop into it and they just automatically know how to do it. It's like, somebody that has a skill with a certain thing, like music or something, they just automatically know how to play it without having to get any real training. The way that I dropped into it was a little bit of a darker path than what most people would typically do. I attempted suicide and got placed on suicide watch, got into a fight with the people that were there, and was basically put into solitary. They put me into a room by myself so that I wouldn't hurt myself or others.
Right.
And then I was just like, forget this. I'm tired of humanity. I'm tired of the BS. And I went into a meditative state and I left this world behind basically. It's an entire thing. Like, if you want me to go into it, I can go into it. It's a bit long though.
I mean, we got an hour, right? And like I said, Johnny's been on the show before. He knows how it goes. I wanted to mention there's one time that I think I did it right. I'm very interested in it.
Hmm.
And I watch the YouTube all the time.
Hmm.
To where they have like the binaural beats and the relaxation music, to help you along, right? And I found this one. I was just like going through. It's like trying to find something that's to where my phone could still be dark at night, without flipping it over, whatnot. And I just fell asleep immediately. Um, what happened, I think it was like 20 minutes later. I'll never forget it. It scared the shit out of me. Um, I was being held back by something, and then there was an argument between whatever was holding me back and what I want to per se as a demon of some kind, something, a bad thing, entity, and these two people were saying you're not ready for him yet. And 5 seconds later, I
Right.
woke up.
So
And that's what scared me, and I never attempted it again.
so the way that you're supposed to do it is a little bit with the assistance of somebody that has been doing it for a while.
Right.
Um, and you basically go through the entire process of the guided meditation, being able to focus your energies to negate everything, right?
Right.
So you want to be able to control your emotions. You want to be able to use the energy that your emotions power up inside you. Think of it like a battery. You use your emotional energy as a battery to sustain you when you go into that realm. And that energy runs out, which is why you have a tether to your body. Because
Okay.
if that tether gets severed, then you run out of energy because you're no longer attached to the battery. Think of
Right.
it like a laptop, right? You remove it
Right.
from the wall charger, and that battery lasts for a certain amount of time, and then it dies.
Okay.
Same thing. So you go into the guided meditation. You learn how to control your emotions. You learn how to use your emotional energy to power yourself. You go from that to lucid dreaming. Once you get
Okay.
into the lucid dreaming phase, I recommend doing the lucid dreaming phase for at least a year, because that shows you and teaches you how to control the dream state, because the
So,
dream state is all about thought, and the astral realm works exclusively by thought.
do those videos on YouTube even help, or was I just dreaming?
Some people like to have the music as a focal point
Uh huh.
to going into that deeper meditative state, to going into that deeper, lucid state
Right.
that you're really trying to master, really.
Right.
Um, and I personally like listening to like Native American flute music.
Okay.
It focuses me. It allows me to
From an
train
astral
my
projection
third eye.
perspective.
So when you close your eyes, the best way that I can explain it, it's almost like you're trying to go cross-eyed and you're focusing up towards the top of your forehead, just right above the brow, right about here
So
is
you're
where you're
kind of
trying to.
looking cross-eyed or whatever.
It feels like you're looking cross-eyed, but you're not. You're focusing on opening here. And
Isn't
that's
that
where
your
that's
third eye or whatever that is? Okay.
pituitary gland, yeah, third
Yep.
eye. So that's what you're doing, and when you focus on it, it's almost like an endorphin rush. You feel it start from here and then flow down the rest of your body. You get into a very, very relaxed state when you do that. Like when I need to go to sleep
Right.
because I've got insomnia,
Right.
that's what I'll do, because it'll force my body to
To
release.
relax.
Yeah, it forces my body to release melatonin, which relaxes you and causes you to go to sleep. But that's the process in which you go into that deeper meditation, being able to focus on that and seeing yourself within your mind's eye, and being able to use that to go into the lucid
Right.
dreaming. And then again, like I said, once you've done the lucid dreaming and you kind of understand how the dream world works, right? Because it's based all on thought. Once you understand that, then you can go into the astral projection. And usually, the way that like several people I've helped do astral projection with guided meditation.
Right.
One of the people over on the Discord server, she doesn't really want to do astral projection, but I'm going to teach her how to do, how to set up an anchor for her in case she actually accidentally drops into it.
Right.
Have you ever had falling dreams and you wake yourself up from it because it's
Yes.
like,
Scared as shit.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, that is what you want. You want those dreams because that falling sensation is how you fall out of your body. That's how you get to the
Really.
astral. That's how you get to the astral plane. You allow it to happen instead of waking yourself up from it. You allow it to happen, but
So
you can only do it when you're in a lucid dream,
how
because
do
then
you
you can control what happens.
How do you not wake yourself up though? Because it's such a startling state. How do you not wake yourself up? Johnny, you wanted to respond.
I had to respond because I had this dream, and it was kind of recent, and I'm still like thinking about it. And I was in my car, okay, and
Mhm.
I was going down the road, and I started tumbling forward through the floorboard, and I was kept going head over heels, down through the floorboard. But I didn't see the highway or nothing like that. I just know I was driving, and I
Mhm.
started tumbling through the floorboard. It was the weirdest thing, and the sensation was totally different than a normal dream. But then, of course, that woke my ass up. Uh, or I woke myself up because I guess I was too scared to go further. I don't know exactly
The
what was
inclination
happening.
of the human body when you get into a state like that is to catch yourself, right?
Yeah.
So when you've been doing the lucid dreaming, you can basically pop in and out of the lucidity of it. You can take control of the dream at any point that you want to, as long as you know that you're dreaming. That's also why we do the meditation and do the deep meditation, and be able to put yourself into your mind's eye, to be able to visualize different things. What you do is you make yourself a some type of imagery that you wouldn't see in reality, right? So one guy that I was helping visualized a devil's tuning fork, which is a object that can't exist in reality. You can
Right.
draw it, but you can't physically make it. So he would have it as like on his keychain. He'd have a devil's tuning fork as a physical object on his keychain. If he saw that, then he'd know he was dreaming and he would take over. So when you're dreaming and you have the sensation of falling, what you want to do is trigger the lucid part of that, and then allow it to happen. Like I said, I recommend you do the lucid dreaming for at least a year so that you know how to drop into turning on and off the lucid dreaming, to being able to control your dream and manifest into your dream that, okay, this is mine, this is my dreamscape, and I can control it.
And so basically, you're saying the binaural beats and things like that, they can get us into the lucid dreaming
Hmm.
because they have a lot of those for that.
Yeah.
Because we always think
um
to that at night.
it's
And then,
different. It's different for everybody. Like I said, some people like the beats. I like listening to Native American flute music.
oh,
um
dude, love that.
There's a
like
guy on
I'm
TikTok that does that.
Cherokee. I'm Cherokee and Blackfoot, so it fits.
Right?
So getting into the type of music that you want. I mean, heck, I trained one guy when I was in college back in 2012, and he listened to straight metal, like Slayer, and he would get into his lucid dreaming using Slayer.
Really.
Yep.
I
That's
know I
some
couldn't.
that back then. That was Slayer, some hard stuff back then.
Yeah, his favorite song to use for getting into lucid dreaming was Dead Skin Mask.
That's some heavy stuff, man. So
But like
so
I said, it's literally about what music you find to be the most relaxing.
Yeah, makes sense.
so once you're in that state, um,
The
how
lucid
did how
dreaming
does
is
it
fun.
how does it go from lucid dreaming to actually leaving
Well,
yourself
that's
in?
part of the falling notion. The falling notion is your spirit leaving your body. That's what that falling feeling is. Your spirit is exiting your physical body, and then once you're out, it still feels like the first couple of times still feel like it's a lucid dream, and sometimes you'll have that out of body experience, but you're like, well, I was just in a dream, and now I'm looking at myself, and I'm in my room, and it follows the same kind of premise that dream logic does, where you kind of skip around, where things aren't really flowing with the normal passage of time. And that is why doing the lucid dreaming and understanding the dreamscape is so important, because the astral realm doesn't follow time like the physical realm does.
Right.
It's a realm purely of thought. So if you have a weak mind and you go into astral projection, you can get lost very easily because your mind wanders. Anything that you think about, any place that you think about, as soon as you think about it, you're there. There's no path from point A to point B.
It just
You
happens
literally
automatically.
jump. You jump. It's like
This is
folding
being a
space, man.
spirit. Yeah.
It's like folding space.
Okay, so say
There's no path that you travel. You think about, say like I astral projected and I was here in Salina, right? I thought
right,
about going to Egypt. I'd be there in Egypt.
like with no effort, just there.
And that's why so many people that get into it by accident will jump around to so many different places. They'll have all these vivid dreams about going to places they've never been to.
And,
Deja
and
Because their mind is so jumbled about going to all these different places that they've seen that they go to those places.
so what about somebody like myself? I've got severe ADHD, right? I can't sit still in enough places, and my brain doesn't want to shut down at night.
It's not impossible, but working on the deep meditation, working on focusing your mind and being able to slow yourself down. I've got ADHD that's really bad too. So it took me a while to figure out the whole deep meditation thing, especially quieting my mind
Right.
into a long enough period of time where I could physically, or mentally look at myself and see my emotions in the different colors and being able to boost one emotion and take away from one emotion or whatever like that. And different people have different ways of viewing their emotional energies. For me personally, I view it as fire, different colors of fire, and I'm usually sitting in the center, and the different colors of fire are all around me.
How would it help? Here's a question to think about. How would it help in what we do as paranormal investigators?
Strengthening your mind is a great way to keep things from being able to enter, regardless of if it's paranormal or just people you don't like being around. It'll calm you down, man.
I got a question.
Mhm.
I guess it would be like the ADHD, correct?
Yeah.
That's a condition that we have. It's a bodily, physical condition that we have.
Mhm.
And as a spirit, we don't have those conditions. So that we don't carry over our cancer or ADHD or any other problems that we have in the body because it's related to the chemicals
body.
and things that are happening in our body. So I
Mhm.
would think that would not have any issues
You don't
outside the
have
body unless
you,
it could be because you're still tethered.
your body is still your battery. You still have to remain connected to it. Otherwise, like what my spirit guardian told me, um, our species right now does not have the means to create the energy we need to be able to sustain just existing purely on the astral plane. Eventually, the battery runs out, and your energy just dissipates. It has no more. It has no more umph to continue because we're still tied to the physical plane.
Hmm.
Once we
Interesting.
leave the physical plane, then our energy is contained, self-contained. It goes on to the next.
Man, I gotta ask some spirits some questions.
Okay, so how close was Hollywood with that one movie? I can't remember the name of the movie where the little boy goes to the what he does and then gets lost and he can't come back home, and what's her name goes in and helps get him home. How close to reality was that movie?
Fairly close, actually. I mean, when I did it, I didn't want to come back. I was told that I needed to come back by my spirit guardian after she told me that my our species doesn't have the ability to sustain ourselves in that realm and that I needed to return. That was only when I decided, okay, well, I need to go back. And because time doesn't flow the same way in the astral realm as it does here, um, what feels like 5 minutes there can be a year, a month, a couple of weeks, or it could even just be a couple of seconds. The passage of time there is just understanding it is very difficult. Like I've tried for years to put it into an explanation on a scientific basis for how it works, and I haven't been able to come up with one yet. Um, a lot of the stuff that they play around with in Hollywood, um, kind of sort of is pretty close. Like when they were talking about the quantum realm
Yeah,
in like Marvel movies and stuff like that,
right,
or like the Loki TV show,
right.
how time doesn't really exist in those places and stuff like that. It's very similar to how the astral realm actually truly is. Um, when I left, I was gone for about 2 weeks, and it felt like 2 days for me. Like the amount of experience that I gained when I was gallivanting throughout the multiverse, or whatever you want to call it, um, multiple dimensions. Felt like 2 days for me when I was in there. And when I came back, it was actually closer to 2 weeks. At which point they had moved my body, because I was physically looking like comatose.
I was
It
fixing
took
to
me an
ask. It looked
additional.
like you were in a coma. Did they put you in the hospital?
Yeah, but I didn't know which one. You know, there's crap ton of hospitals out here.
Right.
They
So
got
you
one
didn't know
almost on every corner. I
you
didn't
didn't
know which one I
you
was
didn't
at.
know where you were. So that's what took the
Yeah,
time for you to. How'd you get back home
because
per se?
I didn't have, well, I just thought about being home and I was there. I didn't have an anchor. I didn't have something that I could follow back directly to my body like I do now. Granted, I did some stuff in the astral realm and I got in trouble with my spirit guardian, and I haven't been able to astral project in 3 years, but that's besides the point. Um, all in all, I was gone for about a month. The way that I found myself was basically I hung out at my house and waited for one of my parents or one of my siblings to come back from wherever I was at, and then I followed them.
That would help, right? So what got you into the paranormal?
Um,
What experiences did you have at whatever age that made you interested in what we're doing and what you're doing now with what the way you investigate and stuff?
well, the astral projection thing was really the biggest thing that got me into it, but I've always like had the sensation that other things were going on more than what I could understand, and I wanted to learn more about it. And then it got into, the religious side of things. Like I said before, my parents are very, very religious. Growing up in the South, most people
Most
actually,
are, yeah.
yeah, most are. This is considered part of the Bible Belt. So, um, it went from being stuff like watching Ghost Adventures and Taps and stuff like that, to getting an interest in that, and then having different things happen to me over the course of time. At one point, I think the thing that really got me interested in doing it was, I would have, uh, I don't know how to explain it. I would sense things that nobody else could, and then things would happen in those places. There's several places that are in downtown McKinney that I refused to go to because when I was younger and we'd go like antique shopping, I would get a very raw, dark sensation from some of the antique stores that were in the downtown McKinney area. Um, and we did an investigation over at one place. Used to know the owner at the antique store that is still down there,
I think I know which
and
one you're talking about. Yeah.
the one off Tennessee Street in
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I refuse to go to that one. Like I won't even go on the same side of the street as it anymore.
I think the last time I went in there was like 10 years ago, 11 years ago. It's been there for a while. And can you still smell the books?
Still smell the books, but there's a mannequin that is possessed. That is like it's got felt eyes on it, and it follows you around the room. It just feels horribly negative. You go in there any time of the year, and it's always cold.
Have you ever offered to investigate it?
We investigated at one point when we knew the owner of the place, and we had like we heard things like shifting around on us. There was knocking, there was banging, and like we didn't go to the upstairs because they had that locked off
Right.
back then. This was about 10 years ago. Um, so basically when I was about 22. Um, so they had it locked off upstairs, which is where the mannequin was. But I just had this dreadful, ominous, like I was being hunted. And we
Yep.
were only in there for like maybe 3 hours, and like closer to the end of the 3 hours, all I wanted to do was leave.
That bad, huh? So would that
It
be
was it was dark. That's why I won't even walk on the same side of the street that it's on anymore.
so would
I'll
that would
cross
that
over the street.
would that be in one of your top 5 of scariest places? I was fixing to ask you that question. What's the scariest place you've investigated since you've been doing this?
That one would be in the top 5. Another place would be the Big Texan in Amarillo. It's a restaurant up in Amarillo. They serve the 72-ounce steak that if you eat it in an hour, you get your
Get it free.
meal for free, and they
Yeah.
put your picture on the wall. That place is insanely haunted. It's another place that I don't want to go into alone if I don't have to. Um, let's see here. My house is haunted. I've been pushed down the stairs twice by one of the entities that is here in this house, and I've found out recently, like within the last couple of weeks, actually, that it's a child that's about 8 or 9, between 8 to 10, basically, that likes to run up and down the stairs
Are you sure
and
it's a
thinks
kid?
it doesn't feel like a demon. It just likes to push shit over, and the other one just likes knocking on the walls and the ceilings.
Well, I mean, you just found out Johnny, Mr. Blue Moon down there. He lives up there close to you. Maybe you can help him out, John.
Yeah, I'd be glad to.
But
It
yeah, I
seems
got pushed down the stairs back in July, and I rode my left leg down like a ski board, and then it's actually still bruised from that. And then the second time happened in September, or no, at the end of August is when it happened, and I nearly tore my meniscus on, again,
And
the
it,
left
it
leg.
pushed you.
I thought it was my brother, actually. It felt like something came up behind me, and
You need to get a video camera's DVR system in
and
your
add
house,
me
my
on
friend.
well,
Facebook.
actually, I have GhostTube. I ran GhostTube in here and was trying
Uh-huh.
to communicate with it. And it did come through a little bit dark, but it still doesn't feel like. I mean, if it is a demon, it's like very low level.
Well,
You
see,
know?
Johnny, I'm sure you've seen Mr. Blue Moon or Blue Moon Sessions. He's got a huge TikTok account going on. Do you have your portal with you? Maybe show him, John.
Let me see if I can bring it online real quick. Let's
Like
see.
when I ran the GhostTube on it, it told me to follow it to Satan.
What the hell?
Yeah. But again, it doesn't feel that strong. And like
Yeah,
recently, it hasn't even really been doing anything.
we'll see with GhostTube, isn't it like word banks and things like that?
Yeah, it's a word bank, but I haven't had any other place where I've used the ghost tube at any of the other investigations where it would say follow me to Satan. This is the one and only time it's ever said that.
Yeah, well, you know my portal, right? The one that I showed you a few days ago,
Mhm.
the one that I just recently took out and tested last night. If you got to watch that live at all,
I got to see a little bit of it. My
I was
TikTok was been acting up though.
I was testing out my portal build, and Johnny was the one that actually educated me a little bit, helped me out on how to on what's set up and what pedals and this and this whatever. But
You-
he's the one that he'll help you out. You know, he's right there.
I'll
Yeah.
definitely come over and bring my portal, and we can do sessions there to find out exactly who's in your house and exactly why, because the answers I get are pretty damn
Outstanding.
spot
Well,
on.
I'll give you a little bit of history with what has happened with this house before. This house hasn't even been around for 10 years yet. We've been the longest family that has been in this house. Nobody else in my house is sensitive to things unless they're under the influence of, like
Alcohol or
major, no, like LSD, dude.
Oh, like
major
the hard
stuff.
shit. The hard
Yeah,
shit.
like the only time that my brother saw anything in this house and he saw shadows was when he was under the influence of acid.
Well, I mean, that's what it's
And
supposed to do. So
yeah, and that's why he was able to see those things, but he was so far gone that he chalked it up to, oh, that's just how it is. It's not really there,
yeah,
excuse
yeah,
after excuse.
yeah.
So, and I like, because I still live at home with my parents because everything is stupid expensive out here.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Excuse me.
so
Well,
I like when we first moved in here, I could sense that something was here, and I told them multiple times, man, this place is haunted, like. And they're just like, it's not haunted. It's all just in your head because ADHD and autism and blah 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 blah. But the family that lived here before us was only here for about 8 months, and they were they had, it was like a family of three or something like that, and they got into a divorce like almost immediately after they moved into this place.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's normally how it happens, right?
Yeah, and then the family before them was here for about a year, and if I remember correctly, something happened within their family where they were forced to move, but I was never able to get any information for what it was. Just something negative happened and they were forced to move. That's all I know for the first ones that were here.
So, do you mind if Johnny? I'm assuming that's what he's getting ready for, is to bring the portal on. Do you care if he tries to do
Yeah, go ahead.
session up there, and maybe since we're connected on video like this, and he can try and get something out and help you out?
Yeah, I mean,
we'll
as
ask
soon
you
as
questions, or
like
you can ask questions.
sometimes like even like because we have the the little Amazon lady portal thingy.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
it'll turn on
Alexa.
like randomly. I've got my headphone in, so it's not going to turn on, but sometimes it'll just turn on randomly. I won't even be talking to it, and it'll just activate and start telling me about something.
I've
Hey,
seen
bring that
videos
on.
like that. It's creepy as hell. Some of those
Oh yeah,
go
the
off at
first
like
time that it
4 or
popped
3 in
on
the
on
morning.
me, man, it freaked me the f out. Like I
That's
cursed at it and was like, God damn it.
yeah. I wouldn't want. I don't want that shit in my house. I got enough in my house. I don't want Alexa popping on at
Come
3:30, 4 o'clock
on,
in the morning.
man. My freaking LED ring light flickers. They're not even supposed to flicker. It's
There you
sitting
go.
next to me and it's flickering. I'm like, hey, who's ready to talk? And man, what's up?
So this
Anyway,
is his portal that he's built, and
That
again,
looks awesome, man.
he educated me. He's got so much more into his than I do mine. Mine's just, I guess, like you could call it a beginner's portal.
and I
Um,
use reverse chopped speech of either the person I'm trying to contact or random. I use the HSP1 app if I'm doing random. It's all reverse speech. There's no word banks or anything, so it's all chopped. It's
Okay.
just gibberish. I don't know if you've ever watched Tough Paranormal or Hope
Yep.
Paranormal, but
Mm-hmm.
they've
I've
been
watched them
just
both.
reverse chopped in there. Okay. But
Okay.
the spirit changes it, and there's no way for you to debunk it because there's no damn way reverse chop speech is going to go in and then all of a sudden come out with answers about your questions and talk. I use it for private sessions to connect people with their family members, and they're spot
Mm-hmm.
on. Personality comes through. Actual answers to the questions that I have nothing to, I don't even know, come out, and they verify it. I even use it for cold cases now.
Cool.
So it's pretty spot on. So let me see if you guys can hear it. Okay.
All right.
I'm using HSP1. My noise gate is a remote Bluetooth that I have. My portal's right over there. So I'm going to open the noise gate on the app. So it's letting all the reversed audio in. And we'll see if you guys can hear this. I'm just doing a test, and so it may not be anything, but let's see. All right. Y'all able to hear that at all?
yeah, we can hear it. I can hear it. Can you?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, good. At least it's being recorded, so you guys can actually go back later and check. So before I even get started, I'm gonna say a quick prayer because the prayer is like really powerful, and it's part of what makes it work.
Go do your thing,
Um,
Johnny.
and you're Andrew, right? I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
might get the name wrong. Okay, Andrew. Dear God, I come to you now and I ask that you give guidance and give information. And if you have free will, um, would you allow the spirits to come speak to us that it resides in Andrew's home to try to find out exactly who is around him that he can hear and feel, to find out whether they are negative or positive. I ask that you send down Archangel Michael to oversee this session and to protect it with white light of love. We come with respect. And I ask the spirits that it resides at Andrew's home, if they have free will, would you please come forward now and answer the questions that Andrew is going to ask about his location and the spirits that are there. And he comes with love and respect also. And I ask all of our guides to come forward and help and our technicians in this session. And I ask believing in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 All right. So, Andrew, you can just start asking questions. Some of this you can understand right away. Some of you have to review later.
Okay.
And I am recording, Andrew. So if you want to get back with me after the show, then we can go ahead and go through the audio if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great because sometimes they say stuff and I can't really understand it.
Right.
All right. Let's start it off with why are you here?
I muted it. The button's like right there, so as soon as I lay down, it mutes it. All right. Ask again.
Why are you here?
That was something.
Are you a positive or negative influence?
It sounds like
Something about all over the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's all over the house.
Now, for the viewers that are watching, we don't know anything about what's going on in the house. We're just trying to get some quick answers. This is just, when we're watching the show or whenever the show goes on, you never know what's going to happen. This is just kind of how we ended up. So sorry, I just wanted to explain to people. Go
That's
ahead.
all good. How many of you are there?
7.
I didn't know there was 7. I knew there was at least 2, but I didn't know there were 7.
I mean, that's what I got out of it. I might be
No,
wrong.
I heard 7 too. How many of y'all are passing through?
For now, something all I couldn't understand the beginning of it, but the end of it sounded like for now.
They always speak really fast. It's just how it works, right? Because it's thoughts,
Yeah.
thoughts fast. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to review to see what
Let's
they're
slow
saying.
it down some. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
ask them why they push you down the stairs.
I was just about to actually.
Nice.
Why was I pushed down the stairs?
I didn't know that happened.
It sure sounds like there's a female.
Is there a
answering
female
lot.
that do you get a female presence in your home, Andrew?
To be honest, I haven't been able to sense the difference between male and female, only that there are 2 main ones that have always been here. Did you push my brother down the stairs as well when he was living here? I couldn't catch any of that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back over the answers. I'll put it through the audio and clear it up for you.
Is there any way that I can help y'all pass on?
When we pass on something, so that's all I heard. When we pass on.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. Is there any possibility of peaceful coexistence?
We told you something.
Well, I've asked before if it's okay to peacefully coexist because I prefer to peacefully coexist rather than remove them
Yeah,
from here if they're not ready to
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Ha! It sounded like they called me a dumbass.
I thought it was asshole. I thought it was asshole, to be honest. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I thought it
They
was
got a
asshole.
sense of
They
humor.
did you? Are you yelling at them or something in your house?
I've never yelled at them, but I've. Did you just tell me to fuck off? I've never yelled. I have asked why they pushed me down the stairs before. I have asked what they were doing here before. And then I have told them that if they didn't want to play nice, I would get my spirit guardian involved.
Maybe you should ask them why they're there. Why are they in your house?
Well, that was the first question I asked, if you
Oh,
remember.
was it?
You
Yeah.
can always ask these questions twice, because
That's
sometimes
true.
they'll say what they want to say and not
Mhm.
answer your questions. And sometimes if you ask more
Gotcha.
than once, yeah.
Gotcha. Why are you here? What are you doing in my house?
We followed you home. We'll follow you. Something, right?
One of them does like to follow me around a little bit.
Is that your guide? Maybe.
My guide follows me, yes, but one of the other ones likes to try to follow me. My guide keeps them from being able to attach.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? My spirit guide's female. I wonder if she's the one talking. I've never actually
Ask.
heard her voice.
Ask them.
Is it okay if I say your name if you are my spirit guide?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Elaine, is that you?
So I'm not
I
visiting
caught.
you.
Yes, that's what I caught. Something about being here. I thought I heard the letter B in there somewhere in the end.
Yeah, so
Is
something
anything adding up
something
for you?
is well the
Once you
way
get
that
into it even more.
the way that I got her was because of the whole astral projecting thing and inadvertently finding her soulmate. And she told me that as payment, she would be my spirit guardian. Um,
I didn't understand that one.
I didn't either. She doesn't usually like me telling people how everything got started, but she said I was okay to tell y'all her name and to use her name. So
You did it now. You
Yeah,
said it now, or
you
something.
did it now, or you know me best, or something like that. It was so fast. Yeah, you're gonna have fun going through this.
Yeah, like I said, I'll send you the audio.
you said it was okay. Are you having issues with the pact that was made last week?
I told you something. Oh, the word pact. Remember that
Mm-hmm.
pact, right? Is that what I heard?
Mm-hmm. I remember the pact. You used me to tell the person. Is there a problem with it going on?
Something about listen. listen to your past about something or other.
Yeah.
Is anything adding up for you?
Yeah, actually. I've avoided my past, kind of buried it, and she's been trying to get me to heal from it for a long time.
For a long time. Yeah, I kind of see
Mhm.
that the emotions on your face changed. You need to
Ever since
listen.
ever since what happened, after I did what I did, she removed my ability to astral project. I know what I need to do in order to be able to gain that ability back,
To
but
get the trust back
going
from your
through,
guide, or
yeah, in a sense. I didn't understand that. I'm gonna have to
yeah,
go
that
back
was
and
kind of
look.
hard.
Are you holding the entities here at bay right now?
Home?
Okay.
I
No,
think it said yes.
something.
It sounded almost like she said one of them was a curse.
One of them hit you. Something hit you, right?
Yeah. I
Or
appreciate you looking out for me, Elaine. I really do.
it's
Just
rather
to
interesting, isn't it?
just to
Yeah.
clarify a little bit of how there's no sound, and then once you ask the questions and stuff, and when I feel them speak, I just use the noise gate, which is here, and then I allow the audio in. And usually it's like, go ahead and ask the question and watch what I do.
Okay. How
So
long have you been here?
that's usually how I work on the
So you're
when
just
I get the
moving the
audio.
dial back and forth?
Yeah, that's all he
Back and
does.
forth when I feel them speaking. So
Gotcha.
So just to debunk anything or anybody that doesn't believe, even if you're not watching now and you go back to my channel on YouTube or my Facebook and watch it, if you want to get in touch with Johnny or even Pyrene, he's up in there. They're both up in the Dallas area. Um, they'll be more than willing to help you out.
yeah, I actually did. How I know this is going to work for you remotely is I've done a remote session for someone for their house up in shit. I don't even know if it was Tennessee or somewhere up there,
Hmm.
and the responses come back because it's a lady that's very haunted in her location, and she wanted answers. So we got answers. Some of those answers are shared on TikTok, and a full video is up on YouTube. And basically, uh, one thing that validated what was going on is the guy that used to live there in that house was a big time pool player, and she had a picture of him. That as he had like a bar, he owned a bar, and so I mean, pool was his passion, right? Well, during the session I did for her, you could hear someone hitting pool balls. I have no pool table in this house or nothing. It sounded like somebody just set up the rack and hit it like the very first time. And I mean, the balls went everywhere. That sound is you cannot mistake that sound. And I think I shared that on TikTok too. It was pretty awesome. And so
Cool.
she validated a lot of the stuff. And even the spirits were like, I asked them if they would hurt her or anything or cause her harm. They said it was a little like it sounded like a little old lady. It said, "No, we don't. We love that girl." It's just amazing. So the remote stuff does work. I can do this for a long distance.
So, did
Well,
anything come through? I mean, was anything during our little session? If you want to go ahead and close out, Johnny, if anything during our little session that we just did for you, did anything add up?
yeah, a lot of it added up actually. I already knew a lot of the stuff that came through. But to actually have it as as it being voiced out, really kind of puts it into perspective. Um, it's one thing when it's voiced being projected into your head.
Yeah,
It's completely other when it's coming from a secondary or a third source.
it kind of puts it, like you said, it puts it into perspective. When have you ever met? Just to clear this up for the viewers, have you ever met Johnny in person, Mr. Blue Moon? Have you ever met him in person?
I don't think so.
Did you really even know him before tonight?
I mean, I hopped onto his live a couple of times, but not really like on a personal level.
I don't even think you've been on my YouTube or my TikTok, have you?
I've been on your TikTok. I've hopped in a
Okay,
couple of your lives.
cool. You follow. Okay.
Yeah, we all
Yeah, yeah,
follow each other. We all support each other, my friends.
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah. No,
So,
I've come across your lives on occasion, and pop in on time, from time to time. But I don't think I've gone to your YouTube yet.
Oh, dude.
I mostly use YouTube for like music and stuff like that. So,
I love you a long time. Okay.
but yeah, no, that session, that it explains why I haven't really been hearing a lot of activity, haven't been sensing a lot of activity from, like, remember what I said before
yeah,
before we started it up, like they haven't been doing anything.
yeah.
Like that makes sense. My spirit guardian is basically keeping them at bay, um which, definitely appreciated for that. I had no idea she was doing
Do
it.
you
So
think that your guardian helps you in your investigations, like when you go to like your graveyards and stuff like that?
she's
I was
not
gonna
a
say that.
typical guardian. She's more along the lines of a drill sergeant. When you do something stupid, she makes you learn a lesson. And I did something stupid about 4 years ago, and I'm learning a lesson.
All right, man. So we're looking to end the show tonight. Um,
Oh, the other two places that I was going to that you for the question that you asked, the scariest places that I've been
yeah,
to.
this I was about to ask you that the scariest place that you've been to and that you
Yeah.
won't go
So,
back to before we end it.
well, I'll still go back to them, but not alone. Um, Goatman's Bridge.
Yeah,
You, I live
Won't
right
go
by.
back there alone. And Meditation Circle. Won't go back there alone.
that one place y'all were doing a couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
That was interesting. The way I'm like, you need to put him on the ground, get him out of the chair, put him on the ground. All right, guys.
Yeah,
Well,
that place was crazy.
that's the hour that we got. I appreciate you coming on the show, Andrew.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Andrew.
Living up there in Salina.
Yeah, pleasure, sir.
Johnny and Mr. Blue Moon. They're everybody's on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. You know it. Look Johnny up, Mr. Blue Moon
Find
on
me
Blue
on
Moon
Facebook.
Sessions. Andrew Pyring. You can him and a friend of his didn't. She couldn't be on the show tonight, having some issues. Tammy. They investigate together. You can look them up on TikTok and watch their lives and support
Yeah,
everybody.
Pyrene Moist Forging is mine on TikTok.
I
Just
was just
added
about
you.
to ask how can people find you other than TikTok?
Now you got to follow me back on TikTok in order for me to even send you a message on there. I found out just a minute ago because I was like going to send you a message, and it's like,
Oh,
oh,
really?
you don't
I could have
follow me. I'm like,
sworn I
oh
was
yeah.
following you. Could have sworn I was following you. I'll correct that as soon as this live is over.
Okay,
Awesome.
well, I appreciate you guys coming on the show tonight, and y'all have a great night. For the
Thanks,
viewers, we
Dustin.
appreciate you guys following us, and if you have any questions, y'all know where to find us. This is Darkest Hour podcast on Whispers from the. Oh gosh, I forgot it. I'm having one of
He's
those
tired.
moments. Our network show, they're gonna kill me now. I'm sorry, Mike. Whispers from the Unknown Network. There you go. I'm tired. I've just got done working 312 straight. Still got on the show for y'all, and Once again, y'all have a great night. We appreciate you watching, and that's going to be the show.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.